We human beings, whenever we're afraid, fear gives us a porous brain. We forget everything we've heard, everything we've learned, everything we have accepted, every promise we have made to God. Fear gives us a porous brain, and the confidence we had, and the acceptance we have made, and the decisions we have made. When we become afraid, we forget all that. Our God who says He will help us, our God who says He will strengthen us, our God who says there's no problem you have that He will not solve. Fear makes us forget what we knew. It's like when I was a student, and other students were all along with me. Before the exam, we read and read and read, confident. Now we get to the exam hall. We read the questions. We fear, we forget. Everything we learned, everything we had, everything we're prepared for, because of the fear, our brain became porous and forgetful. The people that succeed, it's not because they know more than we know. It's because they didn't have fear. They didn't have any confusion. They remembered we know the same thing. We can write the same thing. We can even teach that fellow the same thing. But he does not fear. He passes the exam. We fear. We fail the exam. It says, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God, it is that go with thee. I understand now. The Jericho walls did not fall because Joshua and the people were strong. It's because the Lord, the Creator, who can demolish any wall, went before them and demolished the walls before them. The Lord will go with you. Every wall that stands before you, God, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, He will demolish every wall. It says He will not fail thee. Look at the wall. Look at the demarcation. Look at the hindrance. Look at the enemy wanting to fight with all their weapons. And I am just a wall. They're fervent. They're ferocious. They have lion-like kind of skill. And I am just a weapon in the hand of God. God will not fail. I say your God will not fail. Your God will lift you up. I think I'm the only one having problem. But I think the lion there wanting to eat me up, I think he doesn't have a problem. Those lions have problem too. The flies, small flies that irritate their eyes, you can get into their ear, and that can trouble them and make them feel confused. All those little flies are there, and when the flies get to them, they'll have their problems they are trying to solve, and they cannot bite the fly. They cannot chew the fly. And the flies are over everywhere. My enemies have problems too. The Canaanites had problems, but they didn't have God. I have the presence of God. You have the presence of God. You have the power of God. You have the promise of God. You will overcome. And that's why it says, fear thou not, be not afraid of them. Look at verse 7. In verse 7 it says, and Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, the strong and of eagle courage. What am I telling you? In the midst of all Israel, what am I telling you? Today, as you are hearing the word of God, I'm telling you what God said I should tell you. He said, be strong and be of good courage, for thou must go with these people into the land which the Lord has sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. You will inherit everything God has promised you in ministry. No fear. What if it does not happen? God said it will happen. How can it not happen? Everything God said to your life will happen. Look at verse 8. In verse 8, and the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not. Look at that again. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Fear not. I didn't hear your answer. Look at Hebrews chapter 4 verse 14.